Good day all, welcome to Obed Farm. Well, we are almost close to finishing the next batch of cages. As you can see, this is a 10. We had made a 15 cage. We've had to actually shorten it. It has now become too big, and I felt that we needed to make sure that I'm thinking so much about chicken, that these rabbits go under shade. So we ended up cutting the top half. So now it is a 10 unit cage, but the other 5 units that we had built, not as if we're going to throw it away. All it means is that we are just going to make that cage, and we're going to add another 5 at the bottom and make it also another 10 cage. So therefore we'll have altogether a total of 20 cages. Well, this is where we are at the present moment. In total we have got 20 rabbits, and the 20 rabbits, as you can see here, we've got a chinchilla which has already got a nesting box. We are hoping within the next week or so it will be giving birth. We have these ones, we have kept some records of, as we had a rough idea when they got serviced. So those dates are the ones that we are working with, but these were not serviced by our buck. They were serviced by a buck that from where we purchased them from. So these breeds, we are not too sure exactly what we're going to be getting, but we are just hoping that we'll be able to do something with those breeds, and we will see that do we keep or don't we keep. In here, as you can see, another chinchilla that we have in here. This one probably in the next 3 or 4 days will then also be giving it a nesting box. And then we come to this one over here, which is, as you can see, we've already put a nesting box, hoping that probably in the within this week or next week it should be giving birth. And as you can see, we also another chinchilla. So in total, our breeding chinchillas, we have got 4 which you can see, which are this big, and there's one more which is quite on the small side on the other side, which I will show you. And on top of that, we come to this side, we have got our New Zealand whites. These are pure breeds that we managed to get. These are very pure breeds, and with these pure breeds we will be looking at, one is a male, one is a female. At the present moment, this is brother and sister. These are still very, very young. They're not yet even in a position of giving birth, but very soon we need to be removing them from each other, due to the fact that we don't want obviously them to crossbreed with each other. But we had to get a male on the basis that we wanted another male, which was a totally different New Zealand white. And we actually do have on the other side, which I will show you. And in total right now, the breeding, the total number of rabbits we have is 20. The number of partitions that we have made, which you can see all along here, is in total we have made 17. So that means that 3 of them will be staying with each other until they are ready to be moved into the next batch of cages that we are still fixing. So we're hoping that by tomorrow latest we would have finished here. All the rabbits would have moved into their proper cages, and we will be in the right direction of where we want to go. And then we come to here. Here is a New Zealand white female. This is different from another place that we got it from. So this one on its own is a different. These are the ones that we want to mate with this male, which we have got, which is from a different parent breed, so that we can improve the genetics of these New Zealand whites. The Dutch that we have here, as you can see, this is the Dutch that we have. This Dutch, we thought it was pregnant. It did not give birth. We then sent it again to another buck. We saw it getting served, so we are hoping that now that it is served, and we will keep looking into it. In here, as you can see, there is a white. The New Zealand white is a buck, and the New Zealand black is a female. We are crossbreeding right now because we do not have the New Zealand black that we do have is still small. So this New Zealand black at the present moment is actually at an age where it is ready for breeding. So we just did not want to lose out on the value of us waiting until the New Zealand black so that we can keep. So we're going to first get group of crossbreeds of New Zealand black and New Zealand white. Those are the first crossbreeds that we're going to get from there. So what is going to happen is that we're going to put all the males in one section, and all the females will be all on themselves, so that we know exactly what we're doing, and then we'll be able to, my daughter will then be in a position to give them their names and make sure that they are they're already some which she's already given names to, but they will now be written, and then also with the breeds. And then we have in here a Dutch male. So this Dutch male is one that we have. So this Dutch male we've crossed with this Dutch female to try and keep the Dutch line intact for this type. But we know that the kids are not going to be that big, because Dutches don't really grow to become very big. But that is something that we are learning as we go along. But we have crossbreeded the two Dutch, so that is what we're expecting. So these records we do have, and we do keep, so that we, as we're learning, we actually get to understand more. In here is the New Zealand white. This one is the one that gave us quite this is the one that gave us quite a downturn. What it did is that we knew it had been bred, but when it gave birth, we were not ready for it. So it gave birth to rabbits, and it actually gave birth to 12 rabbits. Imagine, we have lost 12 rabbits, and all of them fell down. So that was disappointment, because when we got it, we were told that it had not yet been crossed, and the time we thought we had, when we got here, in fact, when we got it, it was the day when we found it in the cage at the gentleman's house, and he had said that he had just crossed it that 2-3 days. So we were now doing according to those dates, which was supposed to mean that roughly around this week it was supposed to then give birth. But now that we had then he decided to give us 1 week earlier birth, and we had not yet put in the nesting box. So this was a big downturn for us. Then we come to this next one, the Californian white. This one has given birth yesterday. So this one has given birth yesterday. We have not yet checked how many kids are inside the next box, but we know that there are kids in there, and we just don't want to touch it for the next 3 days, and so that after about 3 days we know that it has really taken care of its kids, and then we will then look at it from there. But we know that there are kids in there. We can see them moving around. We just don't want to mess around with it. At the present moment, we've also increased the feed ratio for it, so that it has a lot of feed, and therefore we're giving it quite a high number of pellets for it to make sure that it has enough milk, and we're making sure that we give it a lot of hay and a lot of some wet grasses that we then get for it. So that is on this one. Then we have in here, which is known as our mixed, all the small ones, which we consider, these were the small ones that we purchased. When we say these are the small ones, as you can see, there's a Chinchilla in here, which is small. We have got 3 Dutch, which are in here. We have got a New Zealand white, which is also in here. The New Zealand black, as I say, this is the buck. As you can see, it's still very, very small. It is not yet ready to be a mating buck, but this is the buck that we want to keep and make sure that it becomes the mating one. For me, these, when I bought them, or where the places I bought them, they were not that cheap. So some of the things, you also get to a point whereby the amount of money that you keep on spending, you are not able to keep on going to those kind of money. But you then have to then say to yourself, are you willing to wait a little? For me to buy a small buck like this, it means that I am willing to wait for the next 3 to 6 months for it to grow before I know that it's a mating buck. And this Chinchilla is a female. This one, I'm actually worried that where it is, one of the bucks, the other Chinchilla male, I think has been doing its work inside here. So I've got a feeling it's already pregnant. So we will need to be very careful about that. That is why we needed these cages to be done and ready for them to be moved at the earliest. Well, I think that is a bit about the rabbits for this week. Next week we will then look at them. By then I think we would have finished the cages, we would have named the rabbits, and we'll be moving from there on into the next stage. Well, to all those who are new to my channel, please like, please subscribe, and to all those who are returning, thank you very much, and keep on returning to my videos. Thank you and have a good day.